Good afternoon to you all. We have reached the conclusion of the 8th African Regional Forum on Sustainable Development. The government of Rwanda has provided us with perfect setting for us to address the sustainable development imperatives for our continent. First and foremost, Mr. Chair, please allow me to convey to His Excellency, Mr. Paul Kagame, our heartfelt appreciation for his leadership. He underlined that the sustainable development means that African countries must rise to the challenge of domestic resource mobilization and that we must invest in our own transformation. We warmly thank you as our hosts, the government of Rwanda, for your commitment to the African Regional Forum for Sustainable Development. We were all perhaps wondering before what a meeting of this size would entail in the era of COVID-19. Rwanda has shown us that we can bring people together safely. Thank you for helping us take this important step for our continent and to bring us together again in person. Our first message, therefore, has to be that the African countries can deliver safety and open up our economies to move forward decisively. I would like to also congratulate you, Mr. Chair, on your election to bring the Kigali Declaration on our behalf to the high-level political forum. We also express our congratulations and appreciation to the vice presidents of the Bureau, Cabo Verde, Morocco, Namibia, and Congo as a rapporteur. Thank you. The main purpose of this meeting was to review Africa's progress and catalyze our actions to achieve the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. The meeting was also meant to achieve consensus on urgent priorities for action and to adopt the Kigali Declaration to be presented at the high-level political forum in 5 months. Through rich, interactive debate and experience sharing, we have collectively met these objectives. Discussions under the theme Building Forward Better, a Green, Inclusive, and Resilient Africa, poised to achieve the 2030 Agenda and Agenda 2063, have filled the last week. We will share a report that captures the progress, challenges, and recommendations to deliver progress on the 5 SDGs in focus this week. Permit me in the meantime to highlight examples of some of the key messages. To achieve Goal 4, quality of education, we need to invest in more innovative, resilient education systems. For example, using technology and targeted job training programs. This requires investment in inclusive STEM education and supporting foundational skills. We must prioritize digital connectivity and build resilience into our education systems to precisely address challenges associated with the pandemic. For Goal 5, gender equality, we need to strengthen the data and evidence for gender-responsive implementation of all SDGs. We need a renewed focus on strengthening social protection systems to reduce poverty in a resilient manner, including through increased investment in key enablers, reproductive health, mental health, primary health care, education, good governance, and addressing income inequality and gender-based violence. And in our national budgetary framework, we need to provide accountability for gender equality. In protecting Goal 14, Life Below Water, we have called for a Great Blue Wall to provide climate resilience and sustainable development for our coastal and island communities, and protect and conserve Africa's inland water resources. We must strengthen the governance framework that protects our oceans and that defends the rights of citizens to benefit sustainably from its resources. We need to also use our blue economy resources as means for raising additional finance to achieve the SDGs and provide climate resilience. Similarly, for Goal 15, Life on Land, we all need to invest more in combating land degradation and enhancing the productivity of land, forests, biodiversity resources. We must reinforce capacity for mainstreaming natural capital into national budgets and strategic regional, sub-regional frameworks. We need to strengthen the integration of nature-based solutions and climate-smart agriculture in voluntary national reviews and voluntary subnational reviews, in plans and programs, and in budgets to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals and goals of Agenda 2063. And finally, for Goal 17, partnerships. The international community needs to further enhance Africa's access to affordable financing to deliver on promises made in the context of mobilizing support for the implementation of the Paris Agreement. African countries need to develop tools that deepen their own markets, leveraging opportunities of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, and to help mobilize resources domestically. Partnership with the private sector will be critical. Governments and their partners should adopt sustainable budgeting methods to enhance transparency of fiscal processes and to better track national investment in the SDGs and climate resilience. We need a new compact on investing in public goods in Africa and in all developing countries. The forum has focused on ways in which we can unlock the finance required for African countries to invest in their own sustainable future. A liquidity and sustainability facility can help channel private sector funding into African sustainable investments so that African countries can benefit from more financial tools to address the resource gap. The divergence and mobilization of resources to address the impact of the pandemic is striking. The relative success of African countries in responding to the pandemic nonetheless galvanizes us to scale our efforts in addressing this inequality through mechanisms that are less dependent on traditional development assistance. The signing of memorandum asking the ECA and the UN system to support African countries in accessing carbon markets, leveraging Africa's unique natural capital, emphasizes the desire of African countries to be the architects of their own resilience, while also contributing to the global climate goals. Resources of up to $30 billion per annum could be mobilized by African countries at a price of $50 per ton. But African countries need support to properly be rewarded for its role as custodians of these critical carbon sinks and develop a truly developmental carbon pricing system. Allow me to single out some of the key outcomes of the 4th African Science and Technology Forum. We had a record number of youth that participated in the forum. About 354 youth participated in 2 youth innovation boot camps that were hosted here. It was amazing to witness the excitement of young people who had that chance to apply innovation in advanced technologies such as robotics. We also witnessed the launch of the Alliance of Entrepreneurial Universities in Africa and the African Technology Development and Transfer Network. Several vice chancellors, CEOs, and managers of universities, government agencies, and private partners are here. The STI Forum has allowed us to consolidate our focus on transformative interventions. In partnership with the government of Rwanda, we will be exploring the development of Center of Excellence that can demonstrate the impact of foundational skills in STEM education, as well as deploying big data technological solutions to better measure implementation and gaps in achieving the SDGs. The pandemic has undoubtedly taken us a few steps back in some development gains that the continent achieved. The delegations have shared their ideas on the way forward and strategies to not just get back on track, but to accelerate progress. In the middle of every crisis lies great opportunities, and conversations like those we had this week only serve to strengthen our shared commitment to accelerating African growth trajectories, improving education, creating better jobs, reducing poverty, advancing gender equality, reducing carbon emissions, and conserving our precious natural resources. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 8 years. Together with colleagues across the UN development system, we look forward to working with all of you for a prosperous Africa. I wish to acknowledge and express my appreciation for all delegations taking part in this forum, all those who have traveled to be with us in person in Kigali, and all those following us online. I also warmly thank and recognize the chair and other members of the Bureau for their leadership and contribution in these past few days. I would like to conclude with a special word of appreciation to the government of Rwanda. Mware Koze Kotwa Chewa Neza. I hope I did it right. Otherwise, I have to come back. Thank you for your generosity in hosting this forum, your tireless support in the preparation, and for ensuring our safe convening in these unusual times. Thank you.